my friends in Zoom land, we have a couple of Zoom rules. One, if you want credit for this class, I'm looking at the TV with the Zoom. If you want credit for this class, your camera must be on. Your full name must be shown, not just your first name, but your full first and last name. And you must participate. So we have to have you there all the time. So your camera needs to be on. Your full name needs to be showing on the Zoom. I show an iPad. I show a C87JAM. I show a Shahid's iPhone. So usually, if you want credit for this class, I need your names corrected. I need your video on and participating. Okay? Can you hear me? Lynette, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to assume everybody else can hear me. And if I don't see your faces on here and your names on here, then I'm going to assume you're retaking the class and don't need credit, okay? Everybody in Zoom land? Hello. All right, here is the sign-in sheet. You can sign in, please. All right. Talk about yesterday. Hey, we have more people today. No. Let's talk about yesterday. Who did their 10-4? You did all of them?
Oh, not all of them.
Okay, you did some. Okay, I'll take it. Okay.
That woman made that,
Good. So the 10-4 was add 10 people to your database, make 10 new conversations with real estate, and write 10 cards to people. Did anybody do all of those?
I forgot what number 2 was. What was it again?
10 new contacts. Wait, now I'm on. 10 new contacts, 10 adds to your database, 10 note cards. What's for them?
Touch 10 houses.
Oh, preview 10 houses. Yep.
Meeting the 10 real.
10 contacts that you have a conversation about real estate with. 10 adds to your database. 10 note cards that you've written to people, and 10 previews of homes. So, did anybody do all 4 of those 10s? Everybody's saying no. Lynette, my girl. Okay, put your microphone on. I can't hear you. You're on mute, baby.
Okay, the last part of that, add 10 contacts, speak with 10 people and add them to the database. Write 10 handwritten notes in the other one.
And the other one is preview 10 homes.
I can't hear you. Can you speak up a little? I'm sorry.
I don't even know where I'm speaking to. Preview 10 homes.
Okay. Repeat that, please.
Preview 10 homes.
Okay, thank you.
So did you do all 4?
I did all 3. I didn't preview 10 homes.
Okay.
I'll work on that today.
Okay. Well, this is a daily practice.
Okay.
So we start over again today. So I'm going to give everybody a little plus mark for effort because you all did some of it, right? Yeah. Did everybody do some of the homework?
What do you mean by preview 10 homes?
Either go to 10 listings and visit them, or preview if you can't physically go to them, preview them on MLS.
Okay, so
Just
online.
look through them and. Okay. So you all get a happy face. Remember when you're a kid, you got a stamp on your homework. You got a little happy face, right? Feel good. So I'm not gonna chastise all 7 of you for not doing your homework, not getting it done yet, but it's coming. If you guys want to succeed in this business, you got to do the work, and it's hard work. I want you to have appointments by the time we're at the end of this month. I want you to have appointments. I want you to have escrows. I want you to be in contract. Okay, that's my goal for you guys. I can't want it more than you want it. So you gotta do the work. Okay, I won't pick on you too much, but at the same time, remember, if you call me and say, well, business is not happening. I've been here for a month and I'm not getting any contracts. And I'm gonna say, you should do your homework, and you're gonna say, well, sometimes. Well, then sometimes down the line, you'll get a new contract. Okay?
Yeah.
Deal? So who's gonna do their homework tonight? Half of it.
Yeah.
10-4. So there's 4 items that you need to do 10 things in. Yes, it's a lot of work, and yes, it's for your business. When you own a business, it works, right? Okay, we have a couple of new people that just joined in on the Zoom. I'm gonna repeat it again. If you're joining us on Zoom, welcome. And I'm looking at the TV. If you're joining us on Zoom, welcome. What you'll need to do if you would like credit for this class, you will need to turn on your camera for the entirety of the class, participate, and your full name needs to be on there. Not Bonnie's iPhone, okay? It needs to be Bonnie Burlock, but that's me now. So you put your full name on there so that we know to give you full credit for the class, okay? So if you want credit, get on there and do that for our Zoom one, okay? Okay, so we talked a little bit yesterday. What is the number one thing that we need to do in this business? Generate leads, lead generate, prospect, have conversations, open up the dialogue with somebody, whatever you want to call it, but we need to be lead generating to build our business up every day. If you don't do anything else in this business, lead generating is going to bring you business, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that in our Spark 3 today. Hi.
Hi.
Yesterday we did Spark 1 and 2. Today we're doing Spark 3. We talked a little bit about the do not call list yesterday. It's back there.
Okay.
We talked a very little about it yesterday, about the do not call list. Is that on yours too? Oh, I don't have any clicker, nothing. What's happening? I'm going to throw this camera.
What are you doing with your life, Bonnie?
I know. Okay.
Hang on. Not right.
Oh, all right. Back it up just a bit. What successful agents do every single day, grow the business, and we're talking about lead generating, right? You're going to put the red button on it. Lead generate every single day. Every single day, and if you want to take one day off, I'm okay with that, then 6 days. Oh, I did it, it followed me. I threw it off. There it goes. Now look. Yep, you're good. Okay. So every day we're going to lead generate, and we're looking for buyers and sellers, right? When we're in this business to start off with, we typically get more buyers. And right now we have a lot of listings, so go out and get some buyers. We're starting to get a normal market, which is amazing. We're happy about that. But go out and get yourself some buyers and get some homes, okay? Get into contracts. Sounds really simple. It's just simple. What do you need to get to those contracts? Before the contract, you need the appointment, right? Before the appointment, you need the lead. So we just have to lead generate every day to get the contacts, to get the appointments, to get the contracts, to get the escrow, to get the money, right? The money in our pocket. So this is what successful agents do every day. You grow your business by these 4 ways. So we're going to just focus on, well, I have this thing. And then you run your business. So today we're going to be talking about these 4 and these 3. Scripts. So before we jump into scripts, we're going to talk a little bit about the compliance and the do not call. The do not call registry, it is very important that you pay attention to Any list that you buy, if it has a DNC on it, do not call. Don't do it. I know plenty of agents who call anyways because they say, I'm not selling something, I have something to offer. It's not a sales call. Well, you know what? They're gonna get slapped. And I said it was 16,000, but this it says it's 15,000. Okay, so I over exaggerated by a whole thousand yesterday, but it is, I don't want a $15,000 slap on the hand, and they're not forgetting, they don't give warning. So if it's do not call, okay? Make sense?
Yes.
When you get deep into your business, you can pay for auto dialers. And what these auto dialers will do if you want to be making your business on your calls, the auto dialers will, what it says, they will automatically call 3, 4, 5 lines what you want. And then as soon as somebody answers, you got that call, right? So it's dialing for you, it's dialing multiple for you. When you get those lists, be very careful about the do not call, because the auto dialer has no idea, right? So you are in charge of do not call on those lists. Take them out of the list. So the list of calls, list of lists, right? Just be cognizant of what the laws are, who you can and cannot call. And then the violations, recipients of the calls that violate may recover up to $1,500 each violation. And your very first one isn't necessarily a don't do it again. It's a you owe $15,000. So be careful. And you could lose your license if you're a repeat offender. Yes, sir.
So say they're on a list, but you actually talk to them personally. When does that basically eliminate the list?
Good. That is an excellent question. So when they give you permission to have conversations with them, it's okay to call. So if they say, yes, I want you to be my realtor, you can call them, right? When you have that permission from them. Excellent question.
And you keep saying 15,000, 15,000 or 1,500? This was 1,500.
You're throwing an extra zero.
1,500, but you know what? This is
I mean, we're getting
1,500.
close to that.
And yes, yeah, the other 13,500 goes to me.
I'd say.
Yeah,
But,
still don't want it, right?
I was gonna say to my client, like, I'm also a registered tax preparer. I've done people's tax, some people have done their taxes for 20 years, so they already know me. So that's safer.
Well, yeah, if you have permission to call them,
Well,
then it's okay. If
if
they're your client,
Yeah.
that's okay. You have a relationship with them already.
if you spend 2 or 3 hours a year with them for about 10, 15 years,
Yeah,
you
you're
know
good.
that.
Mhm.
That's
You're good. It's just watching the list that says do not call.
yeah,
When you don't know them, you don't have a relationship with them, you can't call
so if they send a question to you, then you got permission to talk to them until they say not to.
them. Correct. If somebody sends me an email, and I don't know them, I'll respond with, is it okay if I give you a call? And then they say, yeah. And that's it. Right? I'm overly careful with lawsuits. I've never been sued, and I'm overly careful. So I cover my bases very carefully so nobody can come back and say something. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. We answered all the questions about that one, right? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit more about scripts. And in your toolkit, there's a ton of scripts. If you look in your Ignite toolkit that you all got with joining, there's a ton of scripts. If you look online, there's a ton of scripts. Scripts, if you guys know, you probably don't even realize it, but you all already use scripts. What kind of scripts do you think in your normal life that you already use?
No.
No.
Like, yes, no.
What is something that you say on a constant basis?
How much more did you say? No.
Hi, how are you? Right? And if I said to you, hey, how are you? Do you all have something different that you normally say? right? What's some things you kind of hear?
And
And,
Fine, thank you, how are you? It's almost like a program response.
and so if I say to you, hey, how are you? What would you say back?
Okay, oh, I'm doing okay, how are you doing?
Okay, I'm doing okay, how are you?
Yeah.
What else might you hear or might you say?
Excellent.
Excellent, I'm doing excellent. I'm better than most. I'm upright. I'm on this side of dirt, right? Here, what?
I made it out of bed.
I made it out of bed. Yeah. I mean, all the different things that you hear from people, I'm better than most. I love, I'm not pushing daisies today, so it's good, right?
Yeah.
Those are scripts. Those are scripts that people say all the time, and it gets some sort of a response, right? If you heard me say, I'm not pushing daisies, I'm doing good, it gets a response of you, yeah, you're right, that is a good day when you're not pushing daisies, right? It gets a response to create a back and forth. And that's all that scripts are. We do it all the time, right? We do it when we leave a voicemail. All of you have a voicemail message that you've left, an outgoing voicemail message. So when somebody calls you, what do they hear? Hi, thanks for calling. I'm sorry I couldn't take your call. Please leave a message at the beep and I'll give you a call, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that just dated me, right? We don't say leave a message at the beep
Thank you for
anymore.
calling, please text me.
Yeah, for faster response, please text me, right? We hear that. What did you say?
record the radio, I used to have music playing here, and then fade in.
That's old school.
Yes, yes.
The message.
Exactly. All scripts. So you guys already use scripts, you just don't even realize that you do. So when we talk about scripts and people are afraid of scripts, that's what you're already using. We're just adding to your conversation. Make sense? So the idea of scripts is to internalize them. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let's stay with the script. Right? So scripts, the big picture of scripts. Scripts help you lead generate, right? Because you're gonna learn scripts on what to say in any situation. They help you uncover motivations of why somebody wants to sell, why somebody wants to buy, why somebody's looking, what are their motivations. They help you identify objections. Usually the objection is not the first objection you hear. We usually have to follow up with a few more questions to find out what the true objection is. And scripts help you close deals. Scripts help you speak in terms that the customer understands. So I can stand in front of my client and start talking about the RPA and RLA and RR, and they're going to go like, what are you talking about, right? I'm going to speak in terms that my client understands so that we can be on the same wavelength of talking, right?
I like scripts today, you don't have to think. Once you memorize it, you go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, when you first start, you do have to think, try to
Or just
remember.
get a piece of paper.
Exactly. You just, as soon as somebody gives you an objection, you're like, I'm ready for it, right? I can say, you don't have to stop and think, oh, what could I say to that, right? Scripts build confidence. I think that's huge. Because people tend to go to the person who has the most confidence and the most energy. So if you are in a room and somebody's talking and they have confidence and they have energy, you're automatically drawn to them. Right? You think they know everything. They probably don't know anything. The person who's over here who doesn't have the confidence might know more than them, but we're drawn to the confidence. So when you have the scripts, it's going to pull out the confidence in you to show you as the expert. We like that, right? We want people to be drawn to us. Not everybody learns scripts. Not everybody takes the time to learn scripts. We have hundreds of agents and 4 or 5 show up to script practice here every morning.
What time is that?
I knew we were going to talk about that. 8:30, like Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but like I said, I don't know if they're doing it this week.
Right, because of, yeah.
And then I thought Ann was gonna be here, so we thought about doing it on Thursday, but
Shake out.
30 minutes,
Yeah, So-
8:30?
8:30 to 9.
8:30 to 9.
They can go.
And Rich Gibbons runs it. And if you guys don't know Rich, talk about confidence and motivated and successful and, oh, he's just, energy, he's amazing. Learn a lot from him. He's on our ALC, he's one of the leaders of our office, and you'll learn a lot if you come to the script practice with him here. So your scripts really, there's so much that comes from your scripts. It's gonna reveal your value to your clients, right? They're gonna feel valued, and you're gonna show them that they're valuable by bringing them the information. Any questions on scripts? Not an enchilada? No. Here's some script. Let me see if this one. These things, oh, there we go. So here's some scripts we were just talking about that we say all the time, and we hear them all the time, and we just don't realize it. So here's some, did you find everything you were looking for? Who's heard that? Every time you go and pay at the checkout, right? If they have good customer service, they're gonna say, did you find everything you were looking for? And what do you say back?
Or no.
No, where, yeah, no, where is it?
Or what I always say, yeah, and then some. I came for this milk. Why do I have 15 items right there, right?
Yeah.
Right, I bet you the checker here, especially if you go to Target. Boy, I went in for a towel and I have a whole basket of stuff, right? So their script comes back with a script from you. If you didn't find something, they're gonna help you find it, right? No, I couldn't find and they'll have somebody to help you find it if they're customer service. But typically they're gonna hear, yeah, and then some, I found more than I wanted, and that's the answer they want.
So now they're gonna take 15%, for a card.
Another script,
Yeah.
right? How many times do we hear that?
And they do it in every time, too, they're always off, so it's consistent.
That's exact, they're selling their services, that's the script they've learned. And if you say, no thanks, sometimes they'll go, okay. But sometimes they'll go, are you sure? And then they go, because you could save $65. Do you not want to save $65 today? And I think, oh, you're good. I do, but I don't. I do, but I don't, right? Right? So the scripts keep, when they have an objection, this is a great segue for objection. So the script, and you say no, and they have something else to say, an objection handler, and you say no, and they have another thing they say, right? Until you say, stop, no, right? Or, all right.
That's what Costco does.
Costco does that?
Yeah, they have a lot of things for it. But then they partner with Citibank, so they give away a bunch of stuff, so, yeah.
Right, so everything has scripts that follows that.
Everything, yeah, they constantly remind you about it, but they have their own magazine.
Okay. Yeah,
So they do
So it's-
everything everywhere, so that you find out things.
yeah. So everything begins with the script. So they have a script and they have something to say to whatever your comment is back.
Yeah.
Right? Have you heard, go ahead, look around and please let me know if I can help? Have you guys heard that? That's the worst one?
Like, you're not even gonna help me, you guys gonna look around? You don't wanna do that to you. All right, here's my plan, yeah, go ahead and look at houses, let me know if you can take my.
Exactly. That doesn't sound good to you, right? It sounds like you're not being helpful to me, right? There's a law, there's something called the law of proximity. So if you as an agent say, go ahead and look at some homes and let me know if you find something. And they go into an open house and they love the house and the agent there says, I can help you. And you start talking, your client starts talking to the agent, law of proximity. There's somebody who can help them. And that's where that, go ahead, look around, please let me know if I can help. If I'm in the department store and they say, go ahead, look around. I'm here, I'll help you. My name's Susie, I'll help you. Just let me know. Well, I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna find what I want and, have a question about it, and I'm gonna look around, the first person I see, I'm gonna say, can you help me with this? Yeah, I certainly can. Guess who gets the commission?
Yeah.
Right? So it's the law of proximity. So make sure you're with your clients all the time. Make sure you're the one in proximity of your client all the time, right? It's very easy. I get off on school, so you guys be fine with me. But it's very easy when you have clients and they say, I want to go see this house, and you look and see, oh, there's an open house. Okay, there's an open house 12 to 3. Just go ahead and go to the open house and let me know.
No,
So many people, so many agents say, go ahead and go, let me know. And I'm telling you what, law of proximity, so many people have lost their clients from doing that. So stay with your clients. I mean, if you're on vacation in Mexico, you can't go, right? There's gonna be times where you can't go with your client, but do whatever you can do to go to that. And there's gonna be times where you're just exhausted. You showed them 15 houses yesterday. Now they want to see one house. Just go to the open house. Don't do it. That one could be the one, right? Yeah, law of proximity. You be in proximity of your client. And then I see you admiring a big screen TV. Are you looking to get one for the big game this weekend? What do you think about that script?
Almost there. I like the, how you like, I see you admiring, so it starts the conversation. But
Yeah.
then when he goes, are you looking for the big game? The guy ended with it down. And it's closed-ended at that point.
It could be.
So
Yeah.
he had it open, but then he closed it. So it's like, no, I'm just looking at it.
It could be
With
when.
the question, I see you admiring, so you could have went a different route.
Mhm.
Kept it one open.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. What might be a better way to do that? What might be a better script to use?
Same way, I see you admiring that big screen, got a big game this weekend. We got a team in it. Just
There you go.
kinda open it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Well, no, that's still big now.
That's still pretty good though.
Who do you think's
But-
gonna win? There you go.
But I see you admiring that big screen TV. What purposes are you looking for?
Okay, good.
What might you use this for? Right? Can you picture this in your living room? Right? I can see you eating some popcorn in front of that TV. Right? But the idea, you were exactly right. The idea is to open up a conversation. They may not be sports at all. They may not be at all. I had a person I was introducing to a group of people once, a gentleman, and another gentleman introduced and said hi, and he starts talking to me and he says, yeah, you know, I'm into sports too, and I see you're in sports. And this gentleman got offended. He's like, what makes you think I'm in sports? And he goes, well, I can tell that you're in sports right here. And he's like, I am not in sports, and I don't appreciate you, summing me up like that. And I was like, and I was sitting there like, oh dear. It was like, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. You can't automatically assume something. They're looking at a TV, because they're wearing a jersey, don't assume they're gonna watch the game. Probably, right? They're already doing that. But you just can't jump to assumptions because you might lose them as a connection. We're trying to build the conversations, right? What other kind of common scripts can you think of that you've heard? And it doesn't have to be real estate related. Anywhere, we talked about like a grocery store, Target.
Trying to call you about how I can save money on your insurance.
Oh, that's so good.
And
Yes, insurance calls all the time. Yes, that's so true.
with something like, all about your home warranty, like it's all about something, and it's always, but they hang up after you say, the first word. Yeah, it's a script that they have for everybody.
Mhm. Exactly.
Somebody's gonna answer it.
Exactly, yeah. And you as agents are going to get called a lot from other brokerages, and they all have scripts. And you're gonna get a lot of, I need help with some sellers. Do you work in the Sacramento area? Can you help me with sellers? Almost always that's a gimmick to sell you something. And new agents really fall for it. And then they call and then they're like, oh, it's only $25 a month? Okay. And they're pay money or whatever, but just be careful when you get called. Everybody who's calling you has a script, right? There's nothing that's too good. Oh, I think I had a question. Okay. Let's see. So that insurance was really good. That's totally great. People do that all the time. Okay. Okay, we talked about limiting beliefs yesterday. How did you like that activity? Did anybody go home and think about that activity? Yeah? And I believe we have some limiting beliefs we're going to be talking about on page 4. This is for you again, just for you. But we don't only have one limiting belief. We have, generally speaking, what are some limiting beliefs that you've heard of or that you're willing to share of yours? With that? Confidence? I don't have enough confidence to be able to door knock.
I think the number one is when people tell you, oh, you can't do that.
Ah,
Well, you can't be a realtor. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't.
so people don't believe in you.
Yeah, outside influence.
Well, if they didn't do
What
it-
do people think?
Yeah, if they didn't do it, and they don't think you can do it, then they always say, oh, you can't do that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What else? How about fear of failure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear of failure is a big one. Fear of failure. So, somebody used this analogy and it's, you draw it and it's really great. So I don't know where to draw. But imagine it in your mind, if you will. So there's a hiker that's hiking up a mountain. And there's another hiker at the bottom of the mountain. Both of them are afraid of failing. They don't want to fall down. They don't want to get hurt. They want to climb the mountain, but they're afraid. Bob starts climbing the mountain. Steve doesn't climb the mountain, he's too afraid. Bob falls down. He climbs up 5 feet, he falls down. And he rolls down the hill a little bit. And he gets back up. Steve said, haha, see, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to fall down. Bob climbs up a little bit more. Now he's 15 feet up the mountain. And he falls down and he rolls back a couple of feet. Steve's like, I told you were going to fall. I don't want to fall. I'm too afraid of failing. Bob gets back up and he climbs up a little bit more. Do you see the point?
Yeah.
Bob is making it to the top of the mountain. He's falling down along the way.
Franklin had a statement about that, but, when failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
Yeah, exactly. So he is closer to the top of the mountain than Steve would never even try because he didn't want to fail. He didn't want to fall down. What if people see me fall down? What if somebody sees me fail? What if they say, I told you so, you're not fail, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Right? What if that happened? Bob's like, well, I don't care. Look at me. I'm up here. You're way down there. Right? So Bob fell down several times and still got up and kept going. Who cares what people think? Who cares what people say? I can do it. And then Bob's on top of the mountain. And he's got his goals. He's got his dreams. He's got his wishes. What does Steve have? Steve has he stayed down here where it's nice and safe. He doesn't want to fall. He didn't reach his goals. He didn't reach his dreams. He didn't get the money he wanted to get, make the difference he wanted to make, whatever his big why was in real estate, right? So be like Bob. It's okay to fail forward. So failure is the number one thing that people are afraid of, is failure. And somewhere along the line, somebody told us we couldn't do it. You guys might know who that somebody is in your life. I know. Somewhere along the line, somebody said, don't try. You're going to fall. Be careful. You're not going to make it. Somewhere that happened. But when you were a baby, you started crawling. And you fell down and fell on your face. And you got back up and you crawled. And then you started pulling yourself up on furniture. And you fell down and you got back up. Nobody told their baby you can't do it. And then they started walking and taking steps. And then they fell down. And nobody said, you fell down. I knew you were going to fail. No, they say, get back up. You can do it. Right? And then you get up. And then you walked. And then you ran. And then you whatever. somewhere in there, somebody said, oh, slow down, you can't do it anymore. So that's the voice, that's the real, that's the tape we need out of our head, right? So be a 2-year-old boss. Keep going. Don't let somebody tell you you can't. Have the confidence that you're going to keep going until, right? Okay, so we're going to do this little activity on page 4. This is only for you. Nobody's going to see this but you. So write down in A, limiting beliefs that you have when making phone calls. And if you haven't made phone calls yet, just think, what limiting beliefs do you have in going to make phone calls? Does that make sense? And then in item B, for each one of those, what have you done to combat that? What are you going to do to break that limiting belief?
You spent 200 a day, so I don't know.
What's that?
My limiting beliefs about phone calls are gone now, because they used to make 100 before noon and then 100 after.
Ah. Okay, well, you can substitute for something else. Maybe it's door knocking. Maybe it's you know, something other way. Limiting beliefs might be that you're afraid of what other people think. You're afraid of failing. You don't have the confidence. You don't have the knowledge. Maybe you don't know it all. So you're worried about.
No one does. That's the first thing you realize, regardless of what level of education
It's
you
true.
realize, how little you really actually know.
Right.
But you know where to find it.
Yeah. So there you go. So if one of your limiting beliefs is, I don't have all the information, I don't know it all, I'm not smart enough, then the item B can be, I know where to find that answer. I have people, resources around me that can help me with that answer. I have a team around me. I have a team leader who's amazing. I have a coach who is amazing, right? Your coach, right?
Yes.
Right.
Amazing.
I have other agents I can tap in on that are willing to help me. Okay, now the second part, we're going to take one of those limiting beliefs, one that you are going to share. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing the one you wrote down, then let's pick fear of failure, okay? So one limiting belief that you have, we're going to share with a partner. We're going to partner up with a partner, not the same partner you had yesterday, a different partner. And then, yeah, I'll partner with somebody. I see you counting already.
Yeah.
The accountant in the room is like, wait a minute, we don't have an even number of people.
Yeah.
That's damn odd.
Yes. So share one, and then together brainstorm to find out how you can combat that. And then we're gonna switch, and then the other person share one and combat, and come up with ideas of how to combat that. Does that make sense? The second part? You guys good with this? Okay, so pick a partner that you did not have yesterday.
You're here.
And whoever, I can be a partner with somebody too.
I'll be more.
Okay.
Long.
Zoom friends, I want you to do it on your own, okay?
Okay.
So, one of the things I did.
Yeah, so they have to do it before they. The reason why I talked about
She's talking about phone.
about.
Oh, yeah.
So you started where we.
Rejection.
So. I know we can.
I like it.
Number one.
Okay, you should be finishing up with your first partner and getting ready to switch to the second.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Rock roll.
Let's see what kind of resources.
The household representation.
Not very. I might need
We have. All right, now I have. Right? But yeah. Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah, that's what we think.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's here. I'll send full notes. And they'll do.
Yeah,
Okay, we should be wrapping it up. How are we doing? Okay, and also, I hope everybody swapped names. Did you tell each other what your name was? Okay, so the idea is that we're gonna make sure we have friends out of this program. So we are gonna be able to meet up outside of Ignite too. So you guys can hold each other accountable, you can be each other's teammate in this business. Deal? Okay, now let's chat about this. How did we do?
A lot of, a lot of us.
Yeah.
A lot of the same problem, a lot of the same problems, you gotta come up with solutions.
So a lot of the same problems have the same solutions?
Yeah.
Following me now? Okay.
Who's that handsome guy?
Oh, this thing doesn't.
I never real.
Once in a while, even if you're.
I think it's your daughter in the business? She's like, no, that's my.
I think your daughter in the business.
So I have to,
Because
I gotta get more help signals.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. I had to stay in the camera.
Okay.
Okay, so I heard that some of the same solutions fit with some of the same limiting beliefs. Did you all find that? Okay, and what were some of these solutions?
Overcome your fear.
Overcome your fear, how?
Well, generally, you're saying that. You gotta set a certain amount of time each day to make phone calls, to contact your people, try to set up a spirit, try to get something going. But I do.
I understand. How do you get over your limiting belief in your mind that you're afraid to do that?
You just do it.
Just do it. So break the inertia, break the inertia and get the momentum going?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm door knocking and I'm afraid of door knocking and I knock on the first door, I'm gonna be petrified and I'm gonna realize I didn't die. And then I'm gonna go the second one, hey, this is okay. And then by the time I'm at the fourth or fifth one, I've got it going, right? So breaking the inertia and getting the momentum going.
Yeah.
That's good. What else?
Utilizing your resources, so like your teachers, your Ignite pamphlet that's got all of the forms in there. Yeah, just utilizing the resources and don't just reach out to for
Yeah.
a set situation.
Yeah, you have resources in PDF form, in video form, in phone call, text. Yeah, all around you. Excellent. Resources, yes. The third,
It's not, it's a limiting belief for me, it's not too busy
too busy.
to make phone calls or door to door line up. Much rather do other things. Starting a conversation. I mean, even though it's for my business, but I
Yeah.
still.
So it's putting it in priority,
You're right.
right? So typically, busy people get the most done. Did you know that? So it's the inertia and momentum. So if you're going, if I'm at the gym and I just worked out for 30 minutes and my trainer says, give me 5 more minutes, I'm like, okay, 5 more minutes. But if my trainer called me at 3 in the morning and said, meet me in 5 minutes, I'm gonna be like, right? I'm already going. So what's a few more? When you're busy, you typically get more done. Rather than when you're not busy, you think I got time and put it off later. Yeah. So that limiting belief, you can combat it by saying busy people get the most done. I got stuff to do. I gotta get going. Right? Good.
Allocate time.
What?
That was the thing he used to say about allocation of time. You set up a schedule, try to keep to it as best you can, and have a contingency basis. So if something happens, how do I make things work?
Sure. Yep. What else? What other answers do we have for limiting beliefs?
Mine was kind of tied into the resource of like calling other agents. Like for mine was kind of lack of knowledge to call people. Like that was mine before this. Of like you get on the phone and you ask them a few questions and the conversation goes somewhere, but then you're like, now what do I say? And so then it's kind of just like talking to agents that have kind of been through that and then seeing like what are they saying to you and then
Good.
the resource.
Good. Yeah, we have brilliant agents here that you can bounce ideas off. We call it masterminding and shadowing and learning exactly how to handle the situation. That's excellent. What was the last thing you wrote on your list?
It was consistency, great competency.
Consistency creates competency. Don't you love that? When you're consistent and you're doing something all the time, and we use the example of how many of you have ever driven from one point to the next point, you've done it so many times that when you got to your destination, you thought, did I stop at a stoplight? I mean, I'm not the only one, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's done that, right? And it's a little bit scary, did I stop anywhere, or did I just blow through all the stoplights? It's because you've done it so many times that you're so competent, you know how to do it with your eyes closed apparently, right? And that's what it is with scripts, and that's what it is with our real estate business. Over time, you keep that consistency up every single day, and it's gonna be like you have to do it. One of the basketball players, I'm gonna say it's Michael Jordan, it may not be, but I think it is. But he did so many shots, so many free throws, so many shots that he could not miss. And he was doing a commercial and they said, okay, miss this shot for the commercial. And he could not do it. He couldn't do it because he had hit it so many times that it was not in his power to miss it. Isn't that great? Isn't that a great analogy of some basketball player? And I'm going to say it was Michael Jordan that did that. Michael Jordan's a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it right. Okay. No, I know Wayne Gretzky, the famous one of his is go to where the puck is going. I love that.
Yes, 100% of the shots.
You miss 100%. Well, that was Michael Scott in the office. But, okay. Only office heads would understand that one. But it's a really good part. Did you get it? Yeah, that was funny. Thank you.
I love that.
Yes. Yes. Remember he wrote that up there and he twined it in his room? Yeah, anyway. But he says, go where the puck is going, right? So you follow where the trends are going and go that way, right? Okay, I do want to talk a little bit about rejection. Who loves rejection? Oh, no? No, how about Zoom? Anybody you love rejection? No? No? Nobody loves it?
If I'm counting it, I like it.
Tell me more about this. You're ahead of my game right now.
There's an old story, you get a piece of, it's to sell insurance, you get a piece of paper, it's got 100 zeros on it, and you put an X on it, and you basically count rejections. You know, when you get to 99, you get to 100, then you know you gotta say it. So if you're counting the rejections, it's no problem. If you're not, it's a problem. So if I'm counting them, it's no problem.
You're
That's
3
it.
paragraphs ahead of me. That's exactly right. Because it's a law of numbers. You're gonna get
You don't care.
the majority of this business is rejection, right? Majority of this is rejection. And you can't curl up in a ball and, no, I don't want to sell a house. Okay, right? We're not gonna lose it because of that. We get rejected all the time. When you guys go and they say, do you want fries with that? And you say, no. They don't start crying and give up and quit their job and this isn't for me and I can't do it, everybody rejects me, right? Right? So we get rejected in all the time in everything we do. It's just a matter of how we handle it. And not all rejections are the same. Some of them do hurt a lot more than others. But give yourself a couple of minutes to be like, boo-hoo, and then get up and go again, right? Be a duck, let the water go right off of you, or whatever analogy you want to use. But we're going to get rejected. Embrace it. I used to do a contest with people that I coached at group coaching, and we would have call contests. And it wasn't how many appointments you could set. It was how many no's will you get before you get an appointment, right? I want to see who can get least amount of no's or the most, however we were playing it. And you literally in the room, people would be calling, and then they would be marking it on the board. And then they would go, dang it, I got a yes. I had to start all over. I'm like, okay, shoot, you got an appointment, right? But it's how we tell our brain, right? So you're gonna get rejected, mark them down, and then you can keep track. You can figure out how many it typically takes, how many no's it takes.
You just to change what you're counting. You're not counting if they accept you or not. You're counting how many people you talk to. So then you don't
The
care.
conversation.
That's, I mean, I did a lot of door-to-door sales call all day long. That's what I made through college. And I just,
What did you sell?
anything, artwork, candy, flowers, anything. I bought it for 5 cents and sold it for $5.
Then they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting what you're
No, they're
saying,
rejecting
right?
you.
Exactly.
But you just don't, you don't, I just say, okay, no problem, but the next person. you just
I'm not
go.
being ridiculous.
I
I'm
would
like,
feel it.
you know, I'm like.
Yeah.
Right, they're not rejecting you, right? Yeah, and there's gonna be times when you get rejected by people you didn't think were gonna say. I had a good friend I knew for 20 years, and she told me I'm interviewing for, my home, to sell my home. Her home that was almost $2 million. And she said, I'm interviewing agents. And I said, let's do it. We've been friends for 20 years. You're kidding me, I know you are. Nope, she didn't pick me. And I was like, what? Wait a minute.
I
So,
heard a little bit more.
Did she tell you?
it does, it hurts a little bit more.
Did she tell you why?
Oh, yeah, I went through it. Why, yeah. I did the whole thing. What could I do better?
Yeah.
You know, what could have changed but ultimately, yeah, exactly. Unfriend, no business card for you, right? Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so, did you like that activity? Doing that activity? No? Does somebody say no? No fun. It's no fun talking about it.
Self-reflection, it's so fun.
No fun learning about skills. And did you like that we found 5 ways to combat that one limiting belief? So 5 positives, get rid of that negative, yeah? That negative self-talk. Okay, benefits of scripts. We talked about this. Any questions on this? I'm not going to go and repeat everything here. On the scripts. How to use scripts? I believe we have a video coming. Maybe not. Okay, so scripts, we talked about this a little bit yesterday too, but the idea is to memorize the script, even though it's not your words. Memorize it word for word, say it over and over, say it in the mirror, say it to your friends and family until they're tired of hearing you, and then practice with one another, memorize it, because when you memorize it, it becomes part of you, and then you can make it your own. You can put your own spin on it, you can put your own inflection on it. Inflection? Yeah. I make up words, just so you know. So we're going to memorize it, we're going to practice it, and then it's going to be just ingrained in us. And then it's going to sound like we're talking, right? How are you? I'm doing great. I'm on this side of the earth, right? Not, I'm doing great. I'm on this side of the earth, right? See the difference? But I memorized that first, and then I made it my own. Then I put my personality into it and said it.
Yeah,
And so-
better be monotone.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys ever heard people who are clearly, they call you up and they're clearly reading from the script?
Yeah, reading sense.
I say the opposite. How's your day going now? I was horrible. Sick. Lost my dog. And then they don't keep on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What an interesting story. And
Right.
anyway, I was in insurance. Oh, so let's talk about this on page 6. We can do this as a group, right? What are some consequences that will happen if we don't learn a script?
Wasting time.
Wasting time? Yeah, for sure. Gonna waste time.
It's your time and the client's time. Plus they're happy. Educate people are happy that you get a script. Oh, you know.
Okay, so you come across as competent, right? What else might be something that you could lose out on?
Sales.
Sales!
Oh, hello.
You could totally lose a sale, a client, if you don't know your script. If you do not know how to answer an objection, if you don't know what to say, you could lose a client, right?
Yeah.
That's, what do we have if we don't have clients? We don't have a business. So we do not want to lose our clients. What else could you lose if you didn't, if you weren't savvy in your scripts? Trust, yeah. They don't trust you. They don't think you know what you're talking about, right? How about How about, will you lower your commission? What's your answer?
No,
All of you looked at me blank.
no.
I don't want to pay 6%, so I need to lower your commission.
That's a good script to have.
Totally understand. But.
So-
Trying to compete for how they look at it.
You gotta come up.
Oh, yeah, but you can't say blah, 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 to me, though.
Oh.
See what I'm saying? Yes.
Just come
So
on, man, you know.
you'll need to know that objection handler, because you can lose your commission. They will try to get you to lower your commission. They will try. And if you don't have something to answer back on, if you pause, if you go, oh, then you go, okay. And then you've lost some of your commission. So that's a biggie that you can lose if you don't understand, right? Negotiating is all about scripts too, with your clients, with the other agents. It's all about scripts and about working together and protecting your client. And how are you going to say it? In a way that is
They're happy to hear it.
that's going to get a win-win for everybody. How are you going to say it the proper way? So there's also, I can say, no, you are incompetent. I don't want to work with you. Or I can say, have you ever thought of some training at Keller Williams? I'd love to invite you to some more training. I know what I mean, but, right? We're not going to tell somebody they don't know what they're doing. That was just off the top of my head. You're going to have times where you want to say something, and if your script isn't in place, you might say it the wrong way. Does that make sense? All right, so here is the 6th step. Is it on here? 6 steps for memorizing a script. And you may need 7 or 8 steps. It's totally up to you personally. You may only need to do it a couple times and you've memorized it. It's completely how you learn and how you retain. But the first step is reading the script. Read it out loud. This says 5 times. Read it out loud 5 times. There is something about when you read and you read to yourself, and I don't know the exact percentages, but you learn, you'll retain it at this level. If you read it out loud, so you hear yourself reading it, you'll retain it a little more. If you read it out loud and you write it down, then you have a higher retention. So if anybody has done any studying with me for your pre-licensing, I tell you this. Write it down, read it out loud, say it to yourself, put it on a recorder, hear yourself. That's how you're going to retain it.
I do that with books that I have a hard time with. I get it on Audible and then I get the actual book. So
Yeah,
I'm listening to it and reading it helps a lot.
it does. I mean, you retain it. Yeah, exactly. So this says to read it out loud 5 times. You're engaging your eyes, your voice, and your whole body. Even if you add an incantation to it, if you're snapping, if you're doing some sort of body movement while you're saying it, then it helps you retain a little more. Repeat that same sentence 5 times with a smile on your face. Look in the mirror and smile saying it.
You make more money if you use real.
Well, and have you ever talked to somebody on the phone and you just know on the other end they're having a bad day? You can hear a smile through the phone. So when you're talking, you can hear if somebody's having a good day or a bad day. You can't have a bad attitude when you have a smile on your face. Just can't. You try it. You dirty, rotten scoundrel, it just doesn't work, right? You have to, when you're smiling, it brings out good emotions, right? And then read the second line of the script out loud 10 times while smiling. And then say the script from memory. Recite the first 2 sentences out loud 10 times with a smile. If you make a mistake, start over. We don't want to have it ingrained in our brain the wrong way. We want to start over and do it the correct way, right? Is it okay to make a mistake? And you will. You'll make a lot of them. It's okay. And then continue it, adding one sentence at a time to the script, right? Add one sentence at a time, repeating 10 times. And then anytime you make a mistake, to start over again. And then last but not least, say the entire script as fast as you can, 5 times in a row. Your chances of stumbling when reading the script at a normal pace after you practice and chanted them is tiny. So this is an idea of how to internalize the script. You're going to get some scripts that are like 3 sentences long, no problem. You're going to get some scripts that are 3 paragraphs long. And this is a way to memorize and internalize them, okay? Any questions on that? Does anybody else have any memorization ideas, techniques that they've used? I have a weird one. Do you guys want to know it? So I was a flight attendant. I was a flight attendant a little older in my life, not a young one. I was 38 when I was a flight attendant. And there were a few of us that were older, wiser, experienced, whatever you want to call it. There. We had these pages and pages of scripts we had to memorize, of announcements and what have you, we had to memorize them. And I was struggling memorizing. Because if you said the word a instead of the, you failed. So you had to know it perfectly. So there was this one gal, and she was just nailing it every time. She'd just go, she'd read it, and she'd go, and I just asked her, what is your secret? And she said, you're going to think I'm weird. No, I'm not. I need to memorize this. Tell me what you're doing. She just never got any of it wrong. She told me, and I've done it ever since, when you're saying it out loud, say it out, write it, say it out loud, and when you're saying it out loud, take your middle finger and tap between your eyebrows. Looks ridiculous. I felt ridiculous, and I memorized them like that. So when you're doing scripts, if you want to memorize them like that, take your middle finger and tap between your eyebrows while you're saying it out loud. Call me weird now, but when you have it memorized, you're going to be glad you did it. I know. I know. It feels weird. It looks weird. My daughters are like, okay, she's memorizing something and walk around the house. Okay. Right? So that's free. That's right there for you. You get to use it anytime you want. Okay, so we are going to take, first I need a couple of ahas. What did you get from this section? Before we take a break, I need at least 3 ahas. Zoomland, you can come in too. Or we can sit.
Memorization technique.
Oh, okay. My weirdo right there. Okay.
The globular reflex.
Right?
That's what it's called. I just looked it up. I didn't believe you. Well, the globular reflex is elicited by tapping the forehead between the eyebrows and nose and shutting the eyes. It's something about. Anyway, that's what came up.
So on 1, I'm so impressed that you did that. Look it up. On 2, I'm offended you didn't leave.
I've been married for like 30 years. I don't think anybody. Sure, honey. Show me your receipts. You can take the bank seat. You said you spent tonight. It's $400. You spent.
I don't tell you all this. I don't need you.
I've been enough sales training because I think get the cord and roll it across your forehead like this and like that.
Yeah.
Oh, quarter, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's sewn quarters. So you're putting a big mark
Yeah.
in the face.
Lines, yeah.
I've been.
Yeah, but
Now
so
I
it's
did
called the gate
Labular reflex.
labeler.
I don't know.
Interesting. But yeah, it worked.
The moment.
Aha.
Listen to my instructor, who's apparently talking about.
I'll take it. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break, you guys, and then we'll go on to section part 4.
Of course, I believe you. You were just a flight attendant last week.
Oh, good save. Good save. Yes.
get it done, and then like, love you.
Sure, sure. When do you have one? You can only tell me I was probably
you
there
have, like-
at 11 midnight.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
starting to start going there.
Right, if I can't respond to call. Right. Okay, I never seen you get how it happened. Maybe you can- I'm waiting.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, okay. How do you think you have happened? And we'll do.
You-
I think that's kind of the way it's,
We've always
thank
been-
you, yeah. You just don't know, right?
Yeah.
Nobody has a crystal ball, right?
Yeah. Well,
I work with CRE. Roll call. That's all we can do. Okay. Exactly.
Getting, all,
Right. Retire.
just acquired skill. Simple. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they focus still.
There's a lot of, the people always on the program, trying to remember which one is what.
Yeah. You just gotta play with it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, guys, how was your break? So awesome.
That thing acts up all the time.
Okay, is it going? Did it go? Come on. Okay, so we're on Spark 4 now. Now we're gonna talk about your database. We talked about database a little bit yesterday. We're gonna dive into it a little bit more. Okay? So on page 3, what is a database?
All your clients, all your prospects, just everybody you talk to,
Uh-huh.
potential buyers, potential sellers,
Right?
everybody.
Yes. Everybody that is a potential client, is a past client, is a current client. Everybody you know, sphere of influence, right? Potential. What is the purpose of your database?
Business. Generate leads, referrals.
Generate leads, referrals, grow your business.
Farmer, whatever, a farmer.
Work your farm.
Farmer base.
It also gives you a way to be able to look down the line and see what your expected income could be. Your projected income. You keep it a strong database and you can look and see where you're gonna make money, when you're gonna make money, when it's coming in. Because you've already plugged everybody into your database, right? Your database helps you keep a strong connection with your friends, family, clients, past clients, right? That's your database. Okay. Did you know when you decide to retire out of real estate, your database, you can sell that? So when you have an exit strategy, you have a good solid database that you've been working on that starts working for you, you can sell that book of business. That could be another source of income for you from real estate. Pretty amazing, right? Okay, so it's a living record of business relationships. It helps nurture and manage relationships, produces a predictable flow of business, improves service, and strengthens relationships. All of that can be done with your database as long as you manage it well. Okay, so the 3 levels of a millionaire database. And this is on page 4. So essential, and I'll even go to say critical, you need their name, their email address, their phone number. That's what you need for your database. You also should have their home address on there too. But your name, contact info, past business, past contact record, at will communication, making sure that you have that communication with them. That's essential for your database. Now effective, so we're going to add on to those 4. Now an effective database that's going to work for you does all of these on top of it too. Mainly, you're going to be purposeful about it. You're going to have your database working for you. And then we're going to go on further and we're going to utilize our command to work our database so that it's working on our behalf to stay in touch with our database consistently. We all want to be millionaires in this business, right? So why use a database? And I'm not sure where this is going to be on where we are on our pages, so we're just going to go off of our pages and we'll see how that works in there. So developing your database. Why use a database? Avoid the today trap and the predictable ROI. ROI, return on investment. Okay, so this is exactly what we're talking about working your business and preparing for your next coming business. So when you have escrow going, you don't only work that, we're still going to lead generate for what's to come, right? Well, not only going to work in what's happening today. We want to work ahead of the schedule. We want to go where the puck is going. I knew that was coming in, right? And then we want to have a predictable return on investment of what we're doing with our debt. There are 2 types of business, today and tomorrow's. If you don't utilize your database, you're only going to be working for today and it's going to be reactionary always. We want to be strategic and we want to build our business and be business minded and have it for the long run, right? Work smarter, not harder. Plan for your future in this business. Delayed gratification, right? Okay, so is this on yours? I don't think it is. It's not. So this one, why use a database? So there's 100 people in your database, right? And I'm going to go read the notes off of this because this is good. There's 100 people in your database. Let's just say there's 100 people in your database. And out of that, 35 people are interested in selling a home. There we go. So I don't have my notes, so I'm gonna have to go off of memory for this. So there's 35 people who absolutely do not want to sell a home. Then you have another, how many ever is left, that you're going to put in your database. You're going to drip on them. They're going to be future clients. And that leaves you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who, 7 out of 100 who are going to be actual clients. Again, we're going to have to work on the numbers, right? We need a lot of people in our database for that funnel to go down until it turns into an actual client. So typically 7 out of 100 people are going to be clients right now for you. Out of 100, right? So the average ROI is somewhere between 10 to 1 and 14 to 1. For every dollar that you invest, you can expect to receive about $14, as long as you're doing it correctly, right? You build into your database. Down here it talks about referrals. You build into your database, and you build it correctly. In about 2 years, you're going to have referral business. It's going to be consistent. The people you've helped is going to grow, and those people are going to refer you. The more people you help are going to refer more people to you, and then they're going to refer. Especially if you do exceptional customer care for your clients, right? They're going to take really good care of you in your database. Okay, so according to National Association of Realtors, people move every 10 years. I'd say around here it's more like every 8 years. So every 8 years or so, remember we looked at that line yesterday? So when somebody buys a house today, they're not looking tomorrow to move. And next year, it's a little more than today. And the next year, the next year, the next year, and then 8 years, they may be looking to life changes. They may be looking to buy an upgrade. They may need a bigger house, smaller house, whatever. They may be looking to change their house. So typically around every 8 to 10 years, people are looking to move. So we don't want to only focus on the 10% of the people who are looking to buy a home today. We want to look down the line. You keep your database and you keep on top of it, and your database will let you know, okay, 7 years ago, they bought this house. Might be time to start talking to them about what their market's doing. They may be looking to sell next year, right? Statistically speaking. So we're not only going to work on our people here and now, but we're going to be looking ahead at who may be looking to sell or buy a home, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So we're going to be talking about tomorrow's investments always.
That just means you have your database set up well enough. You have referral calls, you have follow-up referral calls often enough. Because I did this thing where weekly market reports, because then they see that. And if they like something, it's got your name on there, they may call you, maybe.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen some to one guy, got tired of paying the rent in Greenhaven. It was, they're in their 60s. Well, even tired of the credit, but he got tired of the rent. Got $5,000 a month rent for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
So then I got to talk to a broker, but now so far, he still hasn't, he looks like he qualified, but you have to do it. That's just the thing. I did exactly for 15 years, so I know it's confidential information. I know exactly what the situation is.
Okay. Okay.
But I mean, they put great expectations on it. They know that you.
Well, and that's part of having a strong database, so you can look ahead and be able to help them at the time that they need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when we're talking about, okay, now we're talking about the 3 costs, right? There's 3 considerations in predicting your return of investment. So predicting not just today's work, but next year and the following year. So we want to look at thinking of, consider the low lead cost, my favorite, low cost, low conversion cost, and it pays for itself. A database makes it easier to do the consistent follow-up. It will literally tell you when it's time to call somebody, when it's time to write a note, when it's time to send a text. You set it up and it'll literally tell you when to make contact with your client. So it pays for itself. There are many databases out there that you can use. What is the best database? This is a trick question.
Yours.
What was that?
I said yours.
What do you mean by yours?
It's like your own. So like what may work for him or her may not work for me. Just like
Okay.
it may not work for you. So
Okay.
it's like however you set it up, it works best for you to are the creator, like you make your own.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. We have command here. you all have command that you can utilize. And there's a plethora of database systems out there. Which one is the best one? And you're right there on it.
The one that works for you.
One that you use.
Yes,
I was
the
trying to
one
find it.
you use. If command is so easy to use, it's so user friendly. But if for some reason you don't use it and ABC you do use, then it's worth the money to pay for ABC. Now, I'm gonna have people who argue with me on that because command is so amazing. But if you don't use it, it's not gonna work for you. You're not gonna have a return on investment. You're not gonna have, a strategic plan on your future income. Whatever database you're going to utilize, that's the best one, right? I hope it's command because command's amazing, right? Command is super amazing. But we want to keep these ideas and figure out which one works for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Metro is expensive.
Yeah, some of them can be very expensive. Okay, so when we're talking about your database, I'm gonna get away from these papers. It's too much. We're talking about your database. Prospecting, right? Prospecting or lead generating is our most important thing ever, always. How often do we lead generate?
Every day.
Every day. Every day, all day. Well, every day. Always look for a lead generating opportunity, right? So we want to feed our database. You think about our database as a garden, right? The video we saw yesterday. You need to take care of that every single day. You need to feed your database. And feeding your database is putting new names in there. It's hungry. Your database is hungry. It always wants new people in it. So you want to put new contacts in your database constantly. So feed it consistently daily, right? The difference between marketing and prospecting, we talked about prospecting, we talked about this yesterday. Marketing is more money-based, right? You're going to put out money and it's one way. I'm going to pay for my logo and sign be on the side of the bus and I'm going to hope people call me. That's marketing. That's expensive. I'm going to put a big billboard on the side of the road. That's marketing, expensive. I have to wait for somebody to call me. Prospecting, I'm going to contact my sphere of influence. I'm going to do open houses. I'm going to door knock. Those are all fairly inexpensive and has a higher rate of return on your money with your clients, right? It takes more time. Remember, we have more time now than we have money. Later on, we'll have more money and less time, and it'll make more sense to do more marketing once people know our names, right? So, any questions on this diagram right here of the marketing and prospecting and the difference between the two?
You soon learn.
I'm sorry?
Even John said, you soon learn after the first few weeks of prospecting, is where you get things done. Marketing, nobody knows you that well yet. So unless you have your own personal database, I know a few people then, I talk to them, otherwise, all the advertising is
Right.
you're wasting money.
So, I'll tell you a little story. Story time. And this was told to me many years ago. In a neighborhood, flyers went out to this neighborhood. And I'm just gonna say names. I'm gonna say Bob, because Bob went up the hill, right? So, Bob Smith, there were flyers that went out. Sell your house with Bob Smith today, give him a call. Flyers went under the doorsteps of everybody's house in this neighborhood. And then a week later, postcard got mailed. Bob Smith, you're a realtor, close some more transactions. It was Bob Smith that I said, right? That name, Bob Smith. And then a direct mail in an envelope handwritten, Bob Smith, right? Sold another one. Looking to sell your house? Call Bob Smith. Over and over for months. Bob Smith went to this whole neighborhood. Flyers, postcards, direct mail, all around this neighborhood, just constantly, over and over every week. Then those surveys came out. The surveys, you've seen those surveys, who's the best hairstylist in Sacramento? What's the best pizza in Sacramento? Where's the best massage you can get in Sacramento? Right? Voted the best for 2022. Best sushi right here, right? Best of the best. And who's the best realtor? And who do you think this neighborhood is? Bob Smith.
Yeah.
And guess what? Bob Smith wasn't even a real person. It was a survey. It was a test to see if people would put Bob Smith's name down if they saw it enough. It was an actual test on this neighborhood. He wasn't even a real person. And they were like, oh yeah, Bob Smith's great realtor. So prospecting works. It takes time over task. It works. You go out and prospect. You have a phenomenal example just here. Our owner, Michael Soros, in this office. Years ago, in Natomas, he door knocked. He was a door knocking king. He door knocked all over the place, all the time, door knocking. And then pretty soon, listing. And then pretty soon, every third listing you saw was Michael Soros. And then pretty soon, Michael Soros is everywhere. Michael Soros, he owns Natomas. And anymore, that's all you ever hear. Michael Soros, Natomas, synonymous. And now he has a van that has his picture on the side, Michael Soros. So he went from the prospecting when he had the time, and now he has the money, and he just markets. Everybody's already heard of him. They've seen his sign. Now they see his van. It just connects it, right? So that's how you transition from part of prospecting to marketing. And he did it at a high level, right? Make sense? You like story time? Yeah. Story time is good stuff. Okay, and then we can tag them. So we want to put them in our database, and we want to tag them so that we can help differentiate them. And here's some ideas of tags. I always say, if you are friends with the soccer moms, put them all as the soccer team. My past coworkers where I used to work, they all get a tag. I have a tag for past clients. I have a tag for potential clients. I have a tag for closed. They closed in 2018, so I have a tag for them. So it's a quick tag, so I know when they close their deal. You can close on things you have in common. I have a tag for my bunco friends. They all enjoy bunco together. So if I wanted to host a bunco party, I could quickly send them only a flyer. So my soccer moms aren't getting a flyer about bunco. Make sense? Or an email. So here's some ideas of different tags you can do. I really suggest tagging your vendors. You want them as partners to refer to you. So you want to keep in constant contact with them. And then referral partners elsewhere. If you go to Mega Camp, which is happening right now, you go to Mega Camp, you're going to need agents from all over the nation. Put them in your database. I've referred people to Idaho, and he put me in, and there's 3 people I referred to in Idaho. One person puts me in his database, and I get his constant emails all the time. So when I refer to Idaho, guess who I'm referring to? He's the one who stayed in contact with me, right? He's working in business. So those are great ideas to tag them, and a way to stay in touch on a higher level. Okay, here's some ideas you can do by color. I also tag by their last names. So I think I told you this yesterday. It's a way for, I know when to follow up. I take, each week I take a certain letters of the alphabet and follow up with them. So, okay. Difference between leads and contacts. The leads haven't given you permission to have conversations with them yet. So a lead might be somebody who goes on your website and fills out to look at a house. That's a lead. You haven't had a conversation, you don't know them, you haven't been introduced yet. A lead might be somebody who came into your open house, gave you their information, but I don't want to have an appointment. That might be a lead. We're still going to follow up with them, And then a contact is somebody who said, yeah, I wanna meet you, I wanna talk to you about selling my house. Do you see the difference in that? So here's a campaign, a 19-touch campaign to create the relationship so you can get an appointment with them. Hopefully it'll be less than 19 touches, but we're gonna keep that on our database. And then contacts, 36. We're gonna stay in touch with our contacts 36 times a year. And here's how it breaks down. Does that make sense? And we talked a little bit about this yesterday too, about different ways you can have a get together with people. People do neighborhood garage sales, neighborhood shred day where you rent a shredder. We talked about the hot chocolate idea, different things that you can do. There's a lot of places that have movies in the park. You can sponsor something of that nature, right? Different ideas.
John did a shredder thing today here.
Oh, really?
He had one here, also with computer recycling stuff.
Oh, okay. Like e-waste?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can set that up in neighborhoods that you want to be known in, where you want to work, where you want them to know you.
Yeah, okay, here.
So then we want to take care of it over time. We want to make sure we cultivate, we take care of those people in our database. And so that they think of us, we are top of mind at all times. When they think real estate, most people know 5 or 6 realtors, right? And when you get into the business, you know a lot more. But most of the people you hang out with, they know 5 or 6 other realtors. So what are you going to do to stand out? So when they hear somebody wants to sell their house, they go, I have the person for you. What are you going to do? What value are you going to bring that stands you out so they'll refer you and not one of those other 5 people? Right? So we want to build a culture around testimonials and reviews. We want to get those testimonies. When we have a good client that we're working with and we close, ask them for a testimonial or a review on your Facebook page, your Google page, your website, right? Ask them for that. Always ask for referrals. I say ask for a referral whenever they say thank you. Don't wait till it's closed. If you write an offer for a buyer and your buyer's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for all your work you did. That's your time. They're excited. That's your time to ask for a referral. Ask for them to think of you and refer you. Right? If you wait till the end, you miss opportunities all the way through. Constantly. I'd love to help them. I love working with you. You've been a model buyer. I love working. And so if you have any friends or family that are looking for any real estate needs, please do this, right? I want to work with people just like you. Now I'm complimenting them at the same time. And so they're like, yeah, okay, right?
Yeah.
And I get to choose who I work with. And then regularly update and prune your database. What does it mean by prune your database?
Get rid of it, of course.
They change their-
Take people out of your database? Would we do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
some attorneys.
You get to be in business with who you want to be in business with. You don't have to keep everybody in your database. If you don't want to work with them, they're out. Take them out. Don't waste your time on that. Don't waste your time on money on people you don't want to work with. I fired my very first buyer, my very first client in the middle of the street. I fired her. She was a big, tall lady. The second house we went and viewed, in the middle of the street, we're walking to our cars, and she made a racial comment about the neighborhood. And I stopped in the middle of the street, and I looked up at her, and I said, I'm sorry, we can't work together anymore. It was exhilarating. I fired my very first client. She was pissed. She went to my manager and complained about me. And my manager called me in and said, okay, what happened? And I said, here's what she said. I don't choose to work with that. And he said, I agree with you. And I said, good, because I don't want to fire you too. I choose who I want to work with. It's why I'm in my business. And I have my standards are high. My integrity is high. And I'm not putting up with that crap. That's stuff. Okay? Huh?
I said Evan.
Yeah. So you have energy suckers in your database? Throw them out. You don't want to. If you're going to work with somebody who is not going to listen to you, who's not going to work with you, who's going to be a pain in your hiney the whole time, who's going to argue with you, who's going to debate you, who's going to be just stealing all your energy, throw them out. Refer them to somebody else and work with 3 other people who you can put all your energy into, right? Give your best to the people who want to work with you. Don't give everything you have to one person who's going to be a soul sucker.
Customers multiply. Kind of, it's their friend, so cheap for your friend, you got 2 of them. So
Heck yeah!
Yeah, that's why you want to take some very careful people.
I'm going to ask for referrals from people I want to work with.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked with some clients that I don't ever want to work with again, and I didn't ask them for referrals. Because I don't want to work with their friends or their family. I don't want, that was exhausting, right? So yeah, it's okay to prune, it's okay to say no, it's okay to take a no. You're in business for yourself. This is your business. You get to work with who you want. Isn't that freeing? Don't you love that? No? You guys are excited about it?
You know, well, you see some, one of the referral places, start referring you, to places, people with no money and, no budget, so,
Yeah, that's a whole different subject.
I just said
Yeah.
no.
True, that's a whole different subject.
I
That's,
mean, you gotta have something to work with. Especially if you-
when you buy leads, that's a totally different subject.
Well,
But yes, I
they're
agree.
free, but they charge you a commission, they charge you,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I didn't turn it down, it's not worth it. If it's impossible, why, you know?
right. Okay. Ahas. Ahas from this segment. I need 42 of them. Let's go. What ahas do you have? Lynette, do you have any ahas up there? You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Yes, kind of.
There you go.
My thinking changed a little towards, I wrote it down. Just being not, far as not having a whole lot of knowledge, seeking more, going to the coach, going to my coach Amy and talking with other realtor agents and getting more knowledge so I can be more comfortable when I engage with other people, with clients.
Great,
That's the thing.
thank you.
That seems like John or Amy, the energy level they project can have a very positive. When you need to know something quick, or you're struggling, and then it's, yeah, talk to them, find out what you said. You learn from your failure. You fall down, you got to get up a lot.
Yep.
And that's what they told us. When you just have to deal with it till you figure it out. And
Right,
be careful what
Don't
you
give up.
say.
yeah. Great, okay, another aha?
What drew my attention was that database, you can actually spell it when you retire.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
database-
especially if you build it to a point where it's creating its own referrals. Right? You're getting all the referrals over and over and over. Then you have a really great book of just, yes, thank you. Well,
I like the fact that out of like an exceptional database automated. So it's like, not only did I do all these steps, but then I've now learned to make it automatic where I don't have to think about it. I can kind of just set it up, make it a system and.
yes, set it and forget it. It's working for you and it's literally your assistant. It's reminding you, okay, send a card. Okay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. You can like do the tags with the smart plan, like you can set up a tag and then kind of do a smart plan for the tag. It's just,
Yeah.
It's been set up this time. The first, getting things set up, keeping working is your problem. You gotta get some help, call the people here and get some help, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the word problem. It can be a challenge,
Challenge, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can-
something
yeah,
that you can work through.
To make it work, you gotta change the problem into a challenge, then apply the necessary energy to get it done.
Yep, it's all about learning and it's all about growing, right? We have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to myself.
Well, everybody,
So-
you said that, John said that, Andy, everybody, all the most successful people we've listened to around here said almost the same thing. So therefore.
Imagine that, right?
Imagine that, yeah.
Success leaves clues.
Yeah.
So, and we all learn from somebody else and learn from somebody else,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, it's, don't reinvent the wheel.
It's already there,
It's
yeah.
already there. And that MREA book, I'm telling you, that's step by step, right? What you need to do. It's all right here. It's all right here for you to take. You have this gift, it's up to you to take it off the shelf and do something with it.
Yeah.
And then that's up to you how far you'll go in the business, right?
Oh, yeah.
You all know that a majority of the people who get into the business don't stay in the business past 5 or 6 years.
Like 80%.
And
Most of them quit after 2 years.
is that gonna be you?
No, we got.
Okay.
By Bonnie.
Was that?
No, we got the Bonnie train.
Because the Bonnie train. Yeah, I will chase you. You are not quitting. But it's just, you know, rolling up your sleeves, putting your ovaries in, making it happen. And you can do it, right? Get rid of those limiting beliefs. Do the work, make it happen. Okay. We talked about this, right? So when you leave the classes, these are the things I want you to ponder, okay? Think about how has your thinking changed? You just said that term, right? My thinking has changed, right? How is your thinking? What changed? What's something that changed your path of thought that you thought was one way, but you actually found out it was a different way? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? What stood out that made you feel good? How your behaviors are going to change from here on out. What are you going to do differently? How are you going to get that momentum going to make that behavior change, right? That habit. And then what tools, models, or systems are you going to implement in your business to make it happen for you? This is not a group business. This is not, we're all in a job working for one thing. This is your own business. So everything that happens is on whose shoulders?
Ours.
Right? It's yours. It's not somebody else's fault. It's not somebody else's reasoning. This is yours to do. And it's not a 9 to 5 job. Sometimes it's a 6 to 9 job. Sometimes it's a 5 a.m. till 11 p.m. job.
You never know. You never know when somebody's gonna call you, or you never know when somebody's gonna eat, something pops up on you. So it could be any time, any place.
Right.
The sole proprietor type of thing.
It's your business.
Yeah.
It's your business. It's your business. You are the boss and you're also the employee. So at the end of the day, you as the boss, are you going to promote yourself as an employee? How did you fill up? Are you going to demote? Are you going to fire? You do nothing for our business, right? Think of yourself. You're the boss. What do you expect out of an employee for your business? And you're an employee working for yourself as a boss. How are you going to show up? All you. Oh, here we go. Okay, people. 10 forward. Okay? This is your homework today. You never know. There might be something that comes out of this. If you come up and show up and say, hey, I did it. You just never know. I got no candy bars today, but I had something else, but we were ready. 10 contacts added to your database. 10 conversations about real estate. 10 handwritten notes. The handwritten notes don't necessarily have to be about real estate. The handwritten notes can be to your barista to say, thank you so much for doing such a great job. The handwritten note could be to your mom to say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Don't say hey to your mom. Okay? The handwritten note could be a note to Sam and say, thank you so much for all you do for our office. 2 N's, by the way. And 10 preview homes. This is per week. Nothing to preview 10 homes on MLS a day. It's 0. If you can go out and preview homes in person, that's better. That's much better. That's why it says per week. But when you're looking at MLS, make sure you're reading the confidential remarks. Those confidential remarks are from agent to agent. So those are only for your eyes as an agent. The public remarks is the QVC for everybody else. This is a charming house for the best fire, chemical back. I have all the same things with those scripts that are used in that, right? But the confidential remarks are, the public can't see that, and that tells some insider secrets from the agent. So make sure you're reading those. Make sure you're looking at the 24-hour watch on MLS every single day. Wake up and look at that. See how many houses went on the market, see how many houses went pending, and especially right now, take note of how many houses had a price reduction. Because, yeah, you're on it. Because that's telling us what the market's doing. Too many people are pricing the houses too high. And then a week, 2 weeks later, we're having to do a price reduction. So our market is not where it was 3-4 months ago. So when we're pricing listings, we need to price just under what the market's doing. Go where the puck is going. How can I know that one, Dusty? Okay, so how many is on board now? On board to do this tonight. All right, I see all these hands. So tomorrow, Lynette, is your hand up?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to preview 10 home listings, where do you go to that? The MLS or
Yes, MLS.
MLS?
If you can physically go to the house, look up some vacant homes, look up some homes and go see the house to preview. Yeah,
Like
if you can physically go, that's better.
Okay.
If you cannot physically go, then just look at them on MLS.
Okay.
Okay?
A lot of you are paying for lockbox anyway. A lot of them are vacant, you can go see them.
Yeah.
You call the person, you tell them you're gonna be there, and then, sometimes the house will get that lockbox for it, but I mean, well, once you get used to
Good practice.
Yeah.
Good practice to practice on opening the MLS. And Cora, I know you don't have access to MLS yet. Is that what you're raising your hand?
Yeah, where do I see
You know what? You can just, yeah, just look at one of those websites, those other websites, look at those. Those other websites that you won't use once you get your MLS.
Okay.
MLS, there's stuff on it. Look, what the classes do, you just gotta put the time in and watch their video classes.
They do have video classes.
I know.
Yeah.
We got that one out for real estate, the Department of Real Estate does. The other thing does.
Yeah, car has videos too.
It's a heck of a lot of stuff, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's there.
it is. All for us to learn and grow better. Okay, we're 2 minutes early. Are
Yay!
you guys good with that if we go? Oh, forget it, 2 minutes is done.
Thank you. My hand written up.
Look, we have a handwritten 10 times thank you for it right here. Is that efficient or what? Oh, that's cute, doesn't count, but that's cute.
Text
Text message, it's, okay, I'm gonna say, it's up to you, it's your business. If you get a text message or you get a handwritten note, which one are you more excited about?
Yeah.
Just foiled right there. Yes, a handwritten note goes so far. So, and the whole point is to make yourself stand out than the rest. So, you know, birthday, people's birthday comes along, you see it on social media, you could write a little social media happy birthday, or you can pick up the phone and say, hey, happy birthday. Or even better, you can look ahead and say, I know your birthday is on Thursday. I want to be the first one to happy birthday. Oh, right? Stand out more? Stand out. Okay, now you're 50 seconds ahead of time. All right, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Actually, I'll see you Monday at group coaching, and then I'll see you Monday afternoon for Ignite. That's what it is. I know my stuff. It's a script. Have a great week, guys. Call me if you need anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynette. Have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.